Welcome everyone to this week's edition of Where Is Your Stop, presented by Hawking Alpha. It is August 6, 2014, and this week we're going to be talking about GE. We've been talking about some spin-offs in the newsletter recently, and some people have asked just to take a little gander at it, and so we wanted to talk about it. So first things first, let's take kind of the big long-term view here and see what we have. So we have this massive run-up into 2000, and then basically we've had this just major trend, all the way down to to $5 all the way down here in 2000, late 2008, early 2009. And so, we can see that GE has really been in this extended long-term down move from a very macro level. And so, obviously from 2008 we just really had this big one-way move down, and then we've just kind of seen this drift upward. Really, it's just been this hunting of the middle level of the 2008 move down, this hunting of liquidity. And so the question becomes now of, hey, what's going on with essentially GE? Well, first things first, the last time we got a good signal on GE was essentially right in here on around the very beginning of November in 2012, and we essentially have just been marching up with that trade, and just very quietly, very smoothly here in 13, and then all of a sudden, bam, popped up real quick, almost at the end of 2013, and right as soon as that happened, bam, GE comes down, stops out, and then boom, another signal to get right back in. Interestingly enough, where we got stopped out is also right around the same point where our initial stop was for this new trade right here in February of 2014. And what we've seen is that GE has, basically just been essentially noisy compared to breaking out of this $28 spot right in here. Just gone up, come down, and essentially hasn't really been doing much. So, you know, a lot of people have, when they looked at GE for the longest time, it's just such a large conglomerate that nobody really knows how to price it, what this thing does. For the longest time, the only thing people can do is say, well, basically, it's GE Capital, it's a financial. And so, we've kind of seen somewhat of this longer-term drift in here in relation to the last few years. That's somewhat close to the financials, but nonetheless, they keep spinning these kind of things off, and so you really see an excess amount of volatility for not an excess amount of directional volatility. So where GE goes from here, who knows? Obviously getting very close to our stop in here. This is a guy who, can ratchet up very quickly and get a move very quickly, but definitely has a decent amount of volatility to it. And so you want to be sure to be staying outside of the noise on a name like GE, and especially something where the street just can't seem to price it accurately. So to helping you stay outside the noise, guys. As always, any questions that you have or comments or stuff you want us to look at, as always, don't hesitate like you guys have done in the past and do now, and we will talk with you next week.